Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? It's a peaceful day in Erie as the water just, hits the rocks. Many things go through my head on these days where I get closer to where I get judged by a judge. Well, I don't know if in Canada it's like the United States, but I do know in the United States all the judges are Freemasons. And the bird agrees with me. Thank you. So that's a fact. And in the United States, all the judges are pedophile Freemasons that protect pedophiles. So, as my day gets closer to that judgment, I prepare for it mentally, physically, psychologically, So anyway, it's Sunday. They call this a day of God, God's day of rest. But God doesn't rest. Because if God rested, the world would not be as it is. It is a consistent battle to enlighten people, to educate people, to make people understand that you have the power within you to erect change in this world around you, in these things that surround you, in this water that has endless capabilities of memory from my ancestors on up to yesterday when I was here. So I have to think about these things and what will become of, I guess, what people think are the chosen ones, the special ones, the gifted ones, the ones that are consistently stalked and hunted by the U.S. government and many governments of the world for our abilities, our capabilities, what we're capable of doing and what we're capable of seeing, and how we can convince people of truths that they don't want you to ever understand. Many wise men had to leave their own country to start educating people abroad from their country. Marcus Garvey, he was one of the most profound Afro speakers of the world of our time, literaturist and profound teacher of truth. And yet his words still guide many, 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 many people today, far on after his death. Bruce Lee, another great master that left profound things in this world. Things that are still being discovered even now as I speak. Because men like him had the ability to see things that normal men, average men, couldn't see, wouldn't want to see, didn't want to see, and he had the ability to put things together to make even greater things like Jeet Kune Do, which was the collaboration of many, many years of ancient Chinese martial arts. A mixture of mixed Chinese martial arts combined with American-style boxing. And he took the best aspects of these things and created a whole new style. A sufficient style, a perfect style. I often think about all these great contributions men have contributed to this world, to help the people of this world. And the saddest part is the contributions of the women. The women that contribute to this world, the great contributions to this world by women, get swept under the rug. They get said, oh, this guy came up with this. Perfect example, Miss Franklin. She was a divine mathematician and she did all the complex mathematics, which she is the reason why we have electricity, not Benjamin Franklin. He was just outside flying a kite. Kind of sound familiar, men, when you don't want to admit to the sufficiency and the equality and the beauty and the divine grace of women, and how much they've really contributed to this world and continue to. If you've never read the book Accomplishments of Women, it will really change your life and change your concept of reality and what you know is true and what you know is history. It's a book that talks about the many, many things that women have discovered, contributed, and that were stolen and overmasked by men because men were afraid of the truth. Just because they were afraid of the truth, and it came from a woman. In the words of James Brown, it's a man's world, but how far does man go to hide the truth? I have a question to the CIA. How many electronic pulses have you sent through that bridge over there, over to Erie, Indiana, targeted at my house during the night? Well, I can tell you that many government intel organizations, the French, Chinese, and Japanese, all know every single little bit of encryption that you've tried. And on the secret intel of the government, my case is sealed and done. And so I would like to thank the dumbass CIA for continuously trying to hit me with things like Echelon and Tempest and all of their so-called secret assassin networking, electronic, psychological warfare that Canadians, I guess, didn't know anything about really until I got here, and then I had to prove it to them. Why do you think I gave them your Whistler codes and your digital codes when I first got here, so they could track everything that you do that comes through electronic electrolysis and then isolated through my house? You don't have CIA ghost houses set up around my house, CIA, where I'm staying, so therefore you don't have anybody encrypting your electronic pulses. So you might want to think about that next time I go to sleep and you want to attack me in my sleep. If you don't know about the American government and the atrocities that they've done in Vietnam, Iraq, 9/11, New York, KKK in Texas. I mean, they have more black men locked up in the state of Texas than all the states combined. If you don't understand the truth about how they still slaughter and hunt my Aboriginal brothers and sisters because we're descended from pre-Ming dynasty, that means our people were on this land when the continents were actually connected, Asia and Africa. It was all one continent. But the Europeans, they're mad about this because what, they were living in caves and my people weren't. We were perfecting things like martial arts and how to fish and how to hunt. And they were scared of dinosaurs, I guess. Who knows, right? So anyway, I thought I'd record a video talking about some things like I always do. Not that it really matters to anybody. For the few people that listen, thank you. And for the people, it was like 13,000 people that support my YouTube, thank you. And for all the people that viewed my videos, that's over 2 million plus, thank you too. Don't forget to visit my website, Dismantle the Central Intelligence Agency. There's 2 on Facebook. That's why JFK wanted to dismantle the CIA, because they're a terrorist organization. They kill kids And they use intel networks all over the world to hide the fact about what they do. It's a sad fact that, you know, you can ask ancient Chinese masters that still get paid to train Chinese American assassins taken over to China secretly as children, and then, you know, given back to the CIA, and the CIA, you know, does what they do to get their mind-controlled assassins. They rape kids, shatter their minds to administer altars so they can have perfect assassins under mind control. I know a lot about this because I lived 2 years with an ex-CIA asset that was raped as a child. And she continues to expose what they did to her, but unfortunately they caught up with us in Mexico, stole all my property, and kept her there. So Laurel, stay strong. And all the women and children and men that are still out there on the run, just trying to make it. And because the Canadian government says, oh, this stuff doesn't exist, America's a great place. Well, Canadian government, how can you be so fucking ignorant? Seriously, if you think America is so great, why is there more black men locked up in all the state of Texas than all the states combined? Why is there an all KKK town in between Austin and Houston, Texas that still functions today? And why is there the Bush Ranch right next door to Vidor, Texas? Simple fact. People that worship Aleister Crowley, who's a known serial killer that never got caught. People that worship Albert Pike, who was friends with David Lynch, or sorry, Mr. Lynch, that perfected lynching, that is to keep slaves in line by killing them. Why are these people still worshipped in Washington, D.C. and have monuments in Washington, D.C. for these men if America is so safe? If America is so safe, why in the world does no one want to admit to 9/11? I am Zacchaeus, walking the light. Peace.